Bitcoin is going to $1 million. Is what I'd say if I was John McAfee or clinically insane. Well, they're two in the same really, aren't they? But is it really that crazy to assume that Bitcoin could be on a trajectory to 1 million? That's what we're looking into today, and honestly there's a fair bit of evidence that suggests that it's not only possible, but maybe even likely. Now, it's been just over 2 years since McAfee made his infamous dick munching prediction. For those of you who don't know, that wasn't me just being rude, that was literally his bet. Bitcoin to hit $1 million by the end of 2020, or release his own dick on national television. Although to be fair, McAfee might have a get out clause because technically he wrote Burcoin, whatever that is. I actually found a cryptocurrency called Burcoin, but it doesn't look like it's going to fulfill the prediction either. Anyway, with only 509 days to go, and with BTC roughly 1.2% of the way to $1 million, it looks as though Bitcoin might not make it either. But it turns out that McAfee, while he may be the most vocal and, let's say, ballsy of the lot, isn't actually alone, with a few others also projecting that Bitcoin could eventually hit 1 million. Venture capitalist and entrepreneur James Tucker is another such person, backing up McAfee's prediction to the very date. However, while McAfee doesn't give much of a reason past maths, Tucker broke it down slightly further. Now, his original prediction came back in 2017, with Tucker suggesting that every advisor to every millionaire in the world would suggest at least some exposure to Bitcoin. However, Tucker recently reiterated this prediction and even added a few extra million to it, noting that the catalyst behind this gargantuan growth would have to start with BTC replacing fiat currency. According to Tucker, the superseding of Bitcoin is a given based on its superior attributes. As for how the price point is reached, with approximately $200 trillion in circulation and only $200 billion within Bitcoin's market cap, in order to make up room to provide liquidity, Bitcoin would have to move 100,000% from where it currently is, giving Bitcoin an approximate end price of $12 million at current prices. So 1 million is starting to look like a bit of a bargain already. As for when this will occur, Tucker noted that this would depend on the collapse of a country's currency. Economic disaster. Woo! Oh, I did that a few too many times. So what we'd need is a collapse of a country's currency and then the move into Bitcoin as a replacement. And as we've seen recently with the Federal Reserve's attempt at salvaging the economy by decreasing interest rates, the devaluation of the Chinese yuan due to the China-US trade war, and the looming prospect of a no-deal Brexit threatening to denigrate the pound, the timing couldn't be any more appropriate for this kind of prediction, as sad as that may be. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but governments wouldn't allow the replacement of fiat currency, then you might like the next theory a little better. Bitcoin evangelist and one of the directors at PayPal, Wences Caceres, also provided the prediction of $1 million per Bitcoin. However, he suggests that rather than replacing fiat altogether, Bitcoin, if successful, would likely become a supranational currency existing alongside national currencies, in essence becoming a non-political standard of value. But why Bitcoin? Well, because it's mathematically apportioned and inflated, it can't be devalued, and it can't be appropriated or sanctioned by any government. So why the 1 million price tag? Caceres uses the following formula to work out Bitcoin's eventual price point. $7,000 times the total number of Bitcoin holders. $7,000 because it's the average investment of new buyers. Obviously this differs from person to person, but we're talking averages. So based on this equation, if 3 billion people bought Bitcoin, its market cap would be inflated to $21 trillion, give or take, which works out to be roughly $1 million per BTC. And that's even without countering in the multitude of irretrievable Bitcoin. Okay, so the technicals are there, but there's still a few people who doubt Bitcoin's suitability as a currency. And they may have some solid points. But Saifedean Ammous, the author of the Bitcoin Standard, completely and utterly disagrees, suggesting that Bitcoin is the best form of money in history. Within the Bitcoin Standard, Ammous states several key factors for what he calls sound money. The first being scalability, the attribute of being able to hold value over a period of time, be divisible and measurable, as well as the ability to transfer globally. The second is to be able to be accepted globally. And the third is that it should have a good stock-to-flow ratio. Now, as I've mentioned in previous videos, a stock-to-flow ratio is the measure of an asset's supply compared to its annual production, which reveals its scarcity. In essence, sound money should be scarce enough to ensure that inflation stays under control. Ammous argues that Bitcoin holds all the qualities of sound money, being scalable, easily transferable, highly divisible, and has the added benefit of being resistant to any centralized entity that would wish to control it. Now that we've made the case for Bitcoin as a currency, the idea that it could reach $1 million doesn't seem too far-fetched. However, there is one last argument for Bitcoin reaching $1 million, and it doesn't even involve superseding fiat currency. Instead, it has everything to do with Bitcoin's aforementioned scarcity. Now, scarcity and value go hand in hand. It's simple supply and demand. The less there is of a thing, coupled with demand for that thing, the more value can be apportioned to of the thing. One analyst, known aptly as Plan B, studied Bitcoin's stock-to-flow ratio in order to evaluate just how scarce Bitcoin is. Calculating Bitcoin's stock-to-flow ratio by dividing its current supply with its annual production gave a stock-to-flow, or SF, of 25. In comparison, gold holds the highest SF of all commodities at 62. However, with Bitcoin's upcoming halving, and due to the reduced annual production that will bring, Bitcoin's SF will increase to 50 come 2020, which led the analyst to calculate that Bitcoin would be worth $100,000 around that time. Of course, given the fact that Bitcoin undergoes this supply halving every 4 years, this stock-to-flow ratio is only looking to increase, with the analyst alluding a price of $1 million by 2024, and even going as far as to say 10 million by 2028. So there we have it, a case for Bitcoin at 1 million and beyond. But do you think that Bitcoin has the potential to hit $1 million? Or is that as crazy as threatening to chop off and eat your own dick? Either way, let us know down below. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you soon.